Couple of quick tips for today. You'll be modeling a wheel using only the sculpt tools. So to do that, you go into create form, and you'll be using exclusively pretty much the cylinder. So you want to create the cylinder, and rather than using the default planes, you want to use these guides I have for you. So you've got 4 of these cylinder guides to start you off for wheel locations. So click there, and then you'll create that cylinder for the wheel. You'll do this 3 times. You have a cylinder for the wheel, you have the outside tire, spokes, the actual rim. So I set a cylinder here, then I say OK. I can add some symmetry, make it a little bit easier, and that's all just modify from here. So I right click, edit form, I can double click to grab a ring, I can shrink things down to make the wheel. Now remember, the closer these are together, the tighter they'll make of a radius. So I can go and back, modify, insert an edge, start to create some of the sharper profiles I need to make this wheel work. So start off as a cylinder, but I can use the edit form to create a tire profile. See here, it's starting to do that. So here's a low profile tire. Great. And I could use the thicken command to actually make that a tire. So that's the tire. Then come back and do a very similar thing for the rim. So I do create a cylinder. Again, use this reference. Snap that right to the inside there. And that's going to create that rim. You can go ahead and say OK here. If I double click on a face, I can right click and say edit form and edit the entire form. Move this one into place. And I can again use the symmetry. Give that some symmetry, and I can modify this by saying edit form. And one trick you'll notice in Grant's videos, he uses his Alt key. Goes a little quick, so you have to look at his videos and see what he's doing. But he uses the Alt key a fair amount. So if I double click this and I say edit form, and I hold the Alt key and then move or scale, that can add some material and actually hold Alt. I can add material or add an extra ring to each one of these cylinders. We'll call that good. You want to go back and be careful, get that model correctly. I want to show you the last thing. If I create a cylinder, this would be for the hub and spokes. I can create that cylinder. Now this is really critical. The diameter faces wants to be the number of faces of the spoke. So if I want a 5 spoke, I can come in, change that to a 5, say OK. Now I can right click and I can edit form. I can double click this. Move this into place, and because of the symmetry, I can say OK. I can add a symmetry here that is circular. Click on the face. I click on one face of this, and possible symmetries. If it's odd, it will just have one option. Say OK. And now you can use the Alt key, select faces, Alt, right click, edit form. If I Alt and move, you can start to create the spokes.